a bullock, even though it's only slightly curved, unlike this pictograph, which has the full curvature of the face of the bullock or the oxen, and now it cannot be dismissed as anything other than a bullock, because at some point, even though I am not a photographer and the lighting in here is not so well, at some point it's impossible to say that this isn't an exact replica of a bullock, a calf, or an oxen. These are the things that have been discussed in such great detail in my book, Angels on the Ark, and the reason that people are getting interested in my products, because at some point, ladies and gentlemen, when you look at this, you see a face facing left. There's the eye, and then on this side you see the same face facing the opposite direction. That's two eyes. Now if you rotate this bill, the faces look like they're inverted, but there are two more eyes. So that's four eyes. However, now there are the eyes of the bullock. So that's two more eyes. That's six eyes. Then if you were to take this particular aspect of the bill, where you see another face within a face within a face right there on the end, the one face has the eye, and then immediately above it there's a smaller face. So what you have at the end of the day is you have about 24 eyes on either end, according to these pictographs and the way they are depicted. Now when I take this off of here, you're going to see the same pictograph in a two-dimensional plane. See? It doesn't look like much, because it really isn't much, because it is a two-dimensional plane. But your eyes are still familiar with the bullock, so you can see the bullock. So now it's not only a bullock that appears on the Ark of the Covenant, it's a bullock that appears on the reverse of the $1 bill, because in fact the $1 bill is a pictograph of the Ark of the Covenant, and those are the six-winged seraphim that have faces like a man, that are described in the book of Revelation as the six-winged seraphim that has the face of a man. So there you have the wings that look like they're coming out of the eyes and the faces that look like a man. And here once again is the six-winged seraphim with the face that looks like a man. Now ladies and gentlemen, I ask you to rate this video, and I ask you to help me make it go viral. Now why do I wish to do that? Well, I wish to do that to prove to the world that in fact you have all been hoodwinked by an angel, and in this case it is the angel of the Lord God. The Lord God who put these pictographs on the reverse of the $1 bill. And if it wasn't the Lord God and all of these people that choose to believe it was Satan, then in fact Satan put the pictographs on the reverse of the $1 bill, and therefore it proves the existence of God. Either way, it proves that there is in fact a God. Now the third beast that is spoken about in the book of Revelation is of course the cherubim that we just went over, with the face that looks like a man. So there you have the six-winged seraphim with the face that looks like a man. And the fourth beast that is spoken about, well, we all know what the fourth beast is. The fourth beast is an eagle. Now the word beast takes on many connotations over the course of history, but a beast is basically any mammal or animal. So the eagle fits in as the beast. However, with the pictograph that I showed you a moment ago, in that when the bill is folded so that you can see the oxen, I'm going to open that up so that you get when the bill is folded so that you can see the oxen that sets upon the end of the Ark of the Covenant and the $1 bill, because they are the same thing. At the same time, you can see the six-winged seraphim, because now you see the face of the oxen, now you see the six-winged seraphim with faces of men, now you see the eagle, which is the fourth beast, and of course the lion, as represented as the word one, which represents God, which Christ represents God, which comes, or a descendant of the tribe of Judah, therefore the tribe of Judah representing the word lion. There you have the pictographs that explain to you how you can see the four beasts of the book of Revelation located on the reverse of the $1 bill. But it doesn't stop there, ladies and gentlemen. No. Also on the reverse of the $1 bill is the evil seed of death that is denoted in my book as the evil seed of death. And that is part of the book. When you say preview the book and you go to my website and you come here and push this button, it brings you to that. So this is my website, Angels on the Ark, a revolutionary new book by Michael Fazio. Angels on the Ark. Because in fact, ladies and gentlemen, the angels or cherubim are setting upon the Ark of the Covenant. And this is denoted in Exodus 25:19. It says, and make one cherub on one end and the other cherub on the other end. Even of the mercy seat shall ye make the cherubims on the two ends thereof. And if you'll notice, ladies and gentlemen, as denoted in my book and the cover of my book, what you have are the two cherubims located on the reverse of the $1 bill. Now there is no way you can discern this as anything other than the Ark of the Covenant at this point, because I have just gone over every aspect of the cherubim with the faces that look like a man, the cherubim that have faces that look like a man with eyes before and behind, because when you rotate the bill you see eyes before and behind. Then you see the lion, which is the tribe of Judah, represented as the word one, which is the same word as Christ. You see, these are all interchangeable. This is a series of pictographs that were placed here by a higher level of understanding and or race of beings. And moving back to my book, which I would like you to review, and of course I would like you to purchase the book. When you preview the book, you come to 5 different chapters that are outlined in white and black, or gray and black, and then you come to the evil seed of death. And the evil seed of death takes about 50 seconds to load. So in the meantime, I'm going to show you what the evil seed of death actually is. It is actually what I call the evil seed of death is the pod or compass with the eagle in it, because when you turn the eagle upside down, that pod becomes Satan. Satan represented on the reverse of the $1 bill as the chief, or the chief of war, because this chief has a bow and arrows in his hand. But more importantly, when you reverse this, because when you turn Satan's world upside down, that is the only time you can see Satan, when you turn Satan's world upside down. Because when the bill is in the normal configuration, all you see is the representation of the chief or the POTUS of the United States of America. And he is the person that's responsible for war. So if this chief is responsible for war, when you turn it upside down, I tell you that it's Satan, because the pictograph under the eagle's wings is in fact a nuclear detonation. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is my book once again, Angels on the Ark by Michael Fazio. And I would greatly appreciate it if you would go there and purchase the book, and then you will have the pleasure of reviewing 1990 pages of the same type of information I just gave you. And then you can, and the book has all the possibilities of any ebook or Kindle book. And at this point, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to say thank you for watching my dissertation on the Ark of the Covenant. And this is Michael Fazio from the Florida Keys saying, please, ladies and gentlemen, help me get a bigger camera.